story. This story is about a fellow named Nasrudin. Anybody here ever heard of Nasrudin? Yeah. So if you're an Arabic scholar, you may have heard of Nasrudin. Nasrudin is from the Sufi Islamic tradition, and he's quite a character, a trickster, a scholar, a wise one. Nasrudin was working in his garden one day, and he worked very hard. He was getting a little tired of doing all these things, and so right next to his garden there was a large walnut tree, and so he decided it was time to take a rest, and he put himself down in the shade of that walnut tree. And it was a bit hot, and nobody else was looking, so he took his turban off and exposed his bald head. And then he looked at the wonders of this garden and he said, "Praise God! Isn't God wonderful? Look at the colors, look at the fruitfulness, look at the bounty in this place." And as he mused about that, then he got a bit of a frown. He says, he was looking at a pumpkin, a nice plump pumpkin right there. He said, now if I were planning things, I think I would have done things a little bit differently. God could use some advice. Because there's that pumpkin sitting there on that little spindly vine. And then we have these little inconsequential walnuts on this great lordly tree. I think it would make a lot more sense to put the walnuts on that little spindly vine and put the pumpkin on this great tree. And he smiled to himself. Yeah, I think I would do pretty well at planning these things. And there was a nice little breeze, and he kind of went off into a daydream of reverie. And he heard the breeze, and he heard the branches shaking a little bit, and all of a sudden, here came a walnut. Right on the top of his head. Ooh. And he had a bit of a lump there, and he was rubbing it, and then he thought again. Allah, maybe I should let God do the planning, because if I was in charge, I would have just gotten hit in the head by a pumpkin. So, it's better to let God be God, and we can enjoy God's garden. Thank you for listening to my story. Have a good time in Sunday school.